There are a lot of cool pockets of hidden content dotted throughout the World of Warcraft, placed by Blizzard's environmental design team as either cool Easter eggs or as secrets never intended to actually be seen by anyone outside of the development team. I've been touching on a lot of these in my series, trying to discover all of the secrets and Easter eggs within the World of Warcraft, which you will find a playlist to in the description. But this area is kind of outside any other zone. It didn't really fit with anything else, but I still wanted to cover it, given that it's one of WoW's most notorious secrets, but there isn't a ton of high-quality video content showing it off or telling you how to get there. So, today let's go explore the hidden elf ruins of Northeron. First, we're going to travel to Tirisfal Glades and head north, as far north as you can go until you reach the continent's northern shore. Then fly to the east and follow the coast. You will eventually run out of beach, and either have to swim or fly along. In Classic, as well as in world iterations of Azeroth and Retail that take place before the Battle of Northeron, you will eventually hit an invisible wall, where your character cannot swim farther or your mount will refuse to continue. This secret area still exists in these versions of Azeroth. It's just far more difficult to access and requires exploitation of world geometry, but we're just gonna go with the version of Azeroth that takes place after BFA. If you fly here in the current day, you will find that the invisible wall has been taken down and you can fly onward. You will eventually be forced off of your mount, but after a short swim, it can be resummoned, and you can continue on your trek to this secret area. Keep in mind, you will not be able to fly for some time, but eventually the ability will return and you can make this journey much quicker. You also might have to resummon your mount to regain flight. It happened to me a couple of times when I tested this. These sorts of old areas can be really finicky. Now, eventually you will hit a zone named Quel'Thalas. Yes, the same northern peninsula that the High Elves settled and that the Blood Elves now call home. See, though the elven homeland was not accessible in vanilla or classic, basics of the world geometry were still in Azeroth's game files, and this area must have been considered part of that zone, so to speak. Interestingly, where exactly this is on the map is a landmass called Northeron by the fanbase, an elusive area from Warcraft's lore and a name now claimed by a portion of the Twilight Highlands. It is an unlabeled part of the map, so it's interesting to see that it's here and accessible after all these years. As your journey continues, you will start to see our destination, a small peninsula jutting out into the sea. On it, as you can see, you will find the remains of several pieces of elven ruins. On the eastern shore, there is a dock, old and dilapidated, slightly sunken into the muck and mud. Behind it, a raised platform carved from stone with pillars can be found, though the pillars have started to collapse. Finally, the most obvious feature of this little landmass is the massive tower reaching into the sky. Interestingly, this entire area seems to be protected by some sort of magical force field, perhaps to slow the decay of time, or to protect it from outside eyes. Two small stone lanterns rest at the front of the tower, still powered magically. Are these also empowering the force field? Who knows? Probably not. What I find most interesting here is the fact that these structures have to be absolutely ancient. These feature the architecture of the Kalderae, the Night Elves, not the High Elves or the Blood Elves. Now, the reasonable part of my brain tells me that this is because this secret little area was designed before Blizzard's artists had finalized the look of the Blood Elves in their buildings. But these structures have remained unchanged in-game for over a decade, so I'm going to choose to believe that they are canonically just really old. Perhaps these were amongst the first structures built by the High Elves when they arrived at the Eastern Kingdoms, still influenced by the designs of their progenitors. I wonder what this area was used for. A lighthouse of sorts, perhaps? Guiding ships in towards the rest of Quel'Thalas? Or perhaps this was the tower home of some crazed archmage, and the remnants of his power still course through this land. Another possibility, just over this ridge, literally within sight, are the war machines built by the Scourge. Perhaps this mystical force field was made to hide this tower from sight, or protect it from the undead in some other way. I've also seen speculation within the fanbase that this was the land where Deathwing's human form, Davil Prestor, claimed to have originated from, as he is said to be from the north of Northeron. Perhaps this was once a roost of the World Destroyer. Alas, there isn't a whole lot to do here in this uninstanced Quel'Thalas, but that doesn't make this area any less fascinating or kind of important to the history of World of Warcraft. This place was one of the great mysteries in early years of this game. I remember seeing stuff about this back in like 2006. I also think that this area could make for a great place for roleplayers to meet up, or for guilds to have meetings of some sort, probably of the secret variety. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, I have an entire playlist going zone by zone throughout Azeroth to find all of its secrets and Easter eggs. So please check that out if you want more. Our next zone is going to be Tirisfal Glades. We're also going to be covering other games in a similar way soon, so I'm excited for that. All of that is going to be linked down in the description. And hey, while you're down there, if you enjoyed this, please do me a solid by leaving a like and subscribing for more. Everyone asks you to do that because it really is the single best way to tell YouTube that you like these videos and you want to help them get out there into the wild. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.